Right, good morning folks, welcome to this week's video. So we're out in the van today, we're heading over to the river. We're going to be doing a test fish with the Rigged and Ready X5 Adventure. Yep. Thank you. Bye. Vegetable rice and peace, man. Conditions don't look too great today, actually. It is a bit windy. And I'm guessing there's tons and tons of meltwater that's made its way into the river. But anyway, let's get up on the river and have a look. So we're going to be trying out the X5 Max today. So this is basically a little bit bigger rod than the X5 Adventure that we tried a couple of weeks ago. I'll stick a link to that review up the top there. So without further ado, let's get all the gear out of the van and find a nice little muddy spot that we can set up on. Right then, so we're going to be fishing with the X5 Max from Rigged and Ready today. I've never fished with this rod before, so it's a complete virgin fishing session today. I've had it out of the box a few times to play with the different configurations and things that you can do with it, and it is a really, really versatile rod. So firstly, the case that it comes in as well. Remember, this is a travel rod, so you can stick this in your hand luggage if you're traveling on a plane when that time finally comes around again. But the travel case itself is really, really strong. So we're going to be dead baiting for some pike here on the River Waveney. So let's take a look at the configuration that we're going to use to be using this for dead baiting. So we're going to stick the top section in here, bottom section here, and then a good old butt plug. Oh, that is really windy coming through here. I don't know whether you can hear me or not. But anyway, we're dead baiting today, so we're going to be using the small tip section here. Obviously we're going to be casting a little bit of weight today, so we're using the smaller section on this. Right now, conditions aren't absolutely perfect for filming here. It's really, really windy down here today. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a separate video on the different configurations that you can have with the X5 Max. Right, so the reel we're going to be sticking on the X5 Max is the XPR 6000. This is supplied by Rigged and Ready. I'll stick a link to the reel in the description below. So this is a bait running reel, so we're going to be setting up for ledgering with a dead bait today. So we'll get this all set up and get something out into the water. Right, so there we go. So just a simple running ledger rig with a bead just running down to the wire trace there. We'll try with a roach first. We'll stick a little popper on as well just to give it a little bit of buoyancy. Go straight in the tail with one, and then through the eye with the other, and then we'll just attach one of these little flotation balls just at the top, just to give that a little bit of buoyancy while that's in the water. I don't know whether you can see that, but just down there there's a tree branch in the water, so we're going to keep this quite close in so we're not in the main flow of the river, and hopefully there'll be something lurking where that tree stump is. So there we go, so that's the dead bait and rods all set up. I think what we'll do, I've got the X5 Adventure over there as well, is we'll set that up, we'll stick a little Ned rig on that and see whether we can fish around some of these reeds and stuff, see whether we can get something while the dead bait's sitting there, hopefully going to catch us a pike. So I'm going to set up the X5 Adventure with the medium weight spin tip. Right, so we'll start off with one of these again today. Right, I don't think we're going to get on too well today. It's going to be one of those days, I think. I've lost 2 lures already. I got snagged up on that tree as well. It is so claggy underfoot. The wind is just knocking everything over. And I think it's about to start persisting down. So I think we'll give this a go for about another 10-15 minutes. And then I think what we'll do, we'll pack up the van and we'll head into town and we'll fish on the quay where it's a little bit less claggy. And I'm fairly sure we'll catch some perch over there. Right, that'll do. I've had enough. I am absolutely covered in mud. Everything is just mud, mud, mud. I'm determined not to blank today. So we're going to pack up, we're going to head back into town, go for the kerfuffle of getting across those train lines, and we're going to set the X5 Max up to be spin fishing for some perch. We're just going to re-engineer the X5 Max here. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to lose the butt section of this. We're going to just take off the butt plug. That bit we don't need anymore, so I'm going to screw the butt plug back into that section there. And then tip wise, we're going to replace this tip. And then all we're going to do is just replace the tip with the mid-weight tip. Right, so there we go. So all of the gear that I'm using is pretty lightweight, and I can get it all in my little pouch that clips to my belt. And then I've just got a rucksack on my bag with a few other bits inside of it as well. So for this type of fishing, just fishing off the quay here, we've got this little tiny trout net here that we've been sent by Rigged and Ready. So this is perfect just for scooping these little perch out of the river just here. But we'll have a go around these posts just out and see whether we can catch some perch. There we go. Here we are. So we haven't blanked today. So there we go. First little stripey of the day. We didn't blank. Beautiful, beautiful little perch. This rod is a little bit long for this method of fishing, but it's still working really well. But like I said, what I really, really like about this rod is that it's really, really adaptable. In the fact that you can do some pretty big fishing with it, you can pike fish, you can carp fish with it, and then you can do this type of fishing with it as well. This compared to the X5, it's still a good rod. It's a really, really good rod, but they've both got their good points and their bad points. The X5 Adventure, I love the fact that everything's included in the bag there. You've got the fly reel, you've got the fixed spool reel, so you can pretty much cover everything that you want to do with a travel fishing rod. So this rod here doesn't come with a reel, but you can buy like the XPR 6000, the bait runner that we were using when we were dead baiting earlier, and oh, we had a knot then. So in general, for this type of fishing, for small sort of lure and small perch fishing, this rod's a little bit too long for it. But what I do love about the rod is that the fact that it is so adaptable that you can do a bit more big sort of game fishing with it as well. So you can use it for dead baiting, you can use it for carp fishing, and of course you can do this type of fishing. But the X5 Adventure or the Smuggler is probably better for this type of really, really small fishing. There we are. Right, here we are, another little stripey. So that's 2. Right, now all we need is his dad. Is it wet in there today? How are we, alright?
It's even better when you've got gas in it, Kurt.
It's really good when your gas canister's full of gas. Jet boil wasn't jet boiling.
You always get one last cast in fishing, don't you? When one last cast turns into about 7. But this is definitely the last one. So here we are, so we're back at the van. So really great day out today. Hard work dead baiting. I really did fancy having a go at catching a decent sized fish on the X5 Max today, but that wasn't going to happen. Conditions were absolutely dreadful down there. So down at the quay here, main thing is we didn't blank today, so we got a couple of stripies and we got loads and loads of takes on it. So it was really good day out. So just a little summary on the rod here. It's an absolute brilliant rod. For the way that we were fishing today with these little Ned rigs, it's a little bit too heavy for this. So something like the X5 Adventure or the Smuggler is going to be better for more lighter weight rigs just like this. But in general, this is a really good travel rod if you're going to be fishing dead baiting or you're going to go carp fishing. It's a really good rod because it's got so many different combinations that you can set it up with. But like I say, just a little bit too heavy for the Ned rig fishing that we were doing today. I think what we'll do at a later stage is we'll put a video together to show you all the different combinations that you can put together with this rod. So thanks for watching this week's video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button that's just there. And as always, there's a couple of videos for you to take a look at. And then hopefully we'll see you next week on the next one.